Good evening, Gavin.
Good evening, TC, and welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Curran's Curran View, with the Ard of Hillsborough, Mr. Terry Curran. Steady away, son, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Steady away, like you say.
You've had a good week, have you?
Very good.
What's the weather like up there up north in Birmingham? It's still
Absolutely
raining.
throwing.
Oh, is it really? I mean, I put my head out the window now. It's pretty dry, but a little bit miserable. There's drizzle around. Now, apparently, we've got a storm that's going to hit us the weekend. But a load of football hit us last weekend, TC. What did you source for us with your magic moment, sir?
I'm looking no further than the hat-trick that Foden scored last night.
I know you'd say that funky Phil. We're going to be talking about him a bit later as well. I mean, what a player.
And he's playing in his rightful position now.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. I think
Central midfield, facing the goal, comes up with a sublime hat-trick. And all three goals were humble. How do you pick them three out?
You see, Uddy always says to me, you know, what you do to win games of football is give your best players the ball, and the players that have got more chance of scoring a goal, the ball. It's not rocket science. If your defenders are having more of the ball than your forwards, you've got
changed, by the way, that.
No, exactly. You've got a problem. And this
Puffy used to say, I had Ferdinand and them talk about Alex Ferguson. You're not good enough on the ball. Get the ball and give it to midfield players what can pass it.
Exactly. It's not rocket science, is it?
So that's never changed, has it?
No, it's not rocket science. But again, Phil Foden, when you're playing him in wider positions, and you know that because you played in wide position, but you preferred it down the middle.
Talking to Chris Waddle about that today.
Oh, was you really?
So stopped. The ball is stopped going to you.
Yeah.
And you can be out of the game for 20 minutes.
100%.
Or 10 minutes, not getting a kick of the ball, and everybody looks at you, oh, well, you're not trying, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's the biggest load of shit I've made in my life.
It is. It's
No
absolutely
wonder why we're no good at coaching and managing.
Absolutely. So you get your better players in the middle of the park, in that final third, get them on the half turn where they can cause maximum damage, and Phil Foden absolutely caused maximum damage to Aston Villa last night. Thought the kid's tremendous. In fact, our first Curran View was pretty much about Phil Foden and the fact that in that under-21 tournament, who was that manager at the time of England that wouldn't play him and we got knocked out early?
Very short Pierce.
No, it was the other one, wasn't it? Aidy Boothroyd.
Oh, Aidy Boothroyd.
Yeah, it was that. It was.
I nearly swore then. That 100% right.
Yeah, and it was about Phil Foden and the under-21s, and we wanted your opinion. And nothing changes. Nothing will ever change. It's English football. It's riddled by idiots.
Where did Aidy Boothroyd play at?
I don't think he played at. Did he play at Watford? Did he?
Well,
did he play at Coventry?
Maybe Leeds. I don't know.
I don't know.
What I'm trying to say, he's the England under-21 manager and does not Foden. Work that out.
It was unbelievable. And I did see a post today. It did make me laugh. The only man to stop Phil Foden's Gareth Southgate. And again, absolutely spot on. Phil Foden has to be the first name on a t-shirt, the first name on a team sheet, and playing in his proper position.
When I tell you I would play him?
Down the middle, where he is.
There you go.
I mean, give Phil the ball.
Too much ability. He can go left, he can go right, he can go left foot, right foot, and sticking out, playing him out on wing.
Matt Letizia told me when Bawley took over at Southampton, what Bawley said to the players in training, when you get the ball, give it Matt. And Matt got his greatest amount of goals and assists, etc., at Southampton during the reign of Alan Ball. But it ain't rocket science. If you give your best player the ball...
It's rocket science to our coaching.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
do you know Dave Sexton used to say to Woody, you only pass the ball to Osgood because he's your drinking mate? And he says, no, Dave, I pass the ball to Ozzy because it's the best chance of Chelsea scoring a goal. And they just do not get it. And that was 50 years ago.
I can't even laugh at that.
It's
I really can't. Because at the end of the day,
it's unbelievable.
You take Clough, Revy.
Yeah.
Robson did okay, right? But, you look at it and you think, why have we been so poor at coaching? Why?
I know.
Why would Lampard and Gerrard fail at coaching.
Mm.
And please, any one of you, do not say to me, just because you're a good player doesn't make you a good. How many coaches what's not played the game have been really successful? English.
Yeah. None.
Well, there you go.
None. If we're looking at just English coaches that have been successful that haven't played the game, I can't think of one.
None.
No.
Right. So I'll not ask you the question because I'll say it. Premier League formed in 1992.
Correct.
Right? So we make that 8 years. That's 24 years.
Yep.
And 8 is 32 years.
Yep.
Not one English coach has won the Premier League.
No, at all. No. I mean, the last English manager, stroke coach, whatever you want to call them. No, to win anything, I mean, anything in the history of football was Ramsey. He's the only manager, Alf Ramsey. He's the only manager, English manager, that's won anything in the entire history of playing football. That's how bad we are.
Well, I'm not a big Clough one, and Bob Paisley won.
Yeah, I suppose when we're looking at Brian, but Paisley English or Scottish?
No, Paisley's from North East.
He's
maybe Middlesbrough or Sunderland, Newcastle.
Yeah. So, you know, in
terms might be a Scottish name, but he would have joined.
Yeah, in terms of European Cups and that, but again, I was looking then at a world level as an international level. Further on.
National level.
Yeah, when we're talking international level, but when we're talking at then, you know, our first division, our elite level in our country, of course, there's been many others that were English before the Premier League. Of course, there has been.
I mean, we've got Bobby Robson. The praise him, or he goes to a semi-final. The thing that's great, Southgate goes to a final. We got beat by an aging team, and we were winning 1-0.
Yeah,
and got beat.
Do you know, I never rated Bobby Robson. I know that now there's a lot of smoke blown up his backside, and sadly, Bobby is no longer with us. Apparently a lovely man.
The first one to crucify him in the papers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wanted him out.
I mean, in 1988, I think it was, there was talk of Brian Clough taking over from Bobby Robson, because I think in that 88 Euro tournament, I don't think we got a point, did we? And we were home in disgrace.
Are you surprised at that?
No, not at all. No, in '86, really, we were poor.
I've told you before. Don't blame the players.
No, I never do.
The man who puts the team out,
yeah,
and has the philosophy and the system of playing. If you don't get it right, the team's never no good.
100%. And going back
when you look at that team, when you look at those players of '92, Man United, right? So when you look, the two Nevilles, Rio, not Rio because he came a little bit up, but he played.
Giggsy,
right?
Beckham.
You look at Rio Ferdinand, the kid at Arsenal, centre half, went from Tottenham.
Campbell, yeah.
Owen, Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes. We've got Cole. We've got Shearer, Ferdinand. We've got top players. Can't even win. No. Can't even get close to a final. Why?
Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable. And it's all down to bad management.
Jeff would have done better than them.
I don't think he could have done any worse than him.
What do you think, Kelly?
Exactly. What goal? I've never seen a goal, Jeff.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it is. It just, you look at football and it really irates you at times, don't it? And you look at it and you just think, it just is incredible.
Look at the ones that blame everybody else.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
And look how successful they were. Forget the players, because once they've been a player, right, it doesn't mean nothing. But once they become a manager, Right? They're telling everybody else how to play football. They're going to management, and they are worse than anybody else what's been in management.
Absolutely. How was Chris Waddle, by the way? What was you talking to Waddler about?
Well, I went to Sheffield to a deal in Sheffield.
Yeah.
And the people said, "Oh, Chris, Beresford, or up in Chapeltown, a lot of Newcastle fans are coming down, so we took a ride up there." He looks well, Chris. He looks well. They all look well.
He's got great taste in music as well. He's a massive fan of the Jam, Chris Waddle, and that kind of music. I wouldn't mind doing a podcast with Chris Waddle. You know, a chapter of my life. What a player he was. I mean,
great player.
You know, he just made the game look just so easy. He started off in a sausage factory, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah.
And then turned professional. And again, one of our great players. I mean, I know they eulogise about the players of today, but for me, Waddle walked straight into that team. What a player he was. And I think sometimes that we do overlook what fantastic players that we had in the past.
Why did they get the best
now.
out of him, though, Gabby?
Because I think what you've alluded to earlier in the podcast is that down to management. I mean, I've never played football at a professional level, but what I get from you players that have played at that level, you know, and with Uddy in particular, when we do My Life, My Music, we always talk about the importance of, and Uddy says, Paul, we always come back to management. And I say, Alan, it's only because I listen to you guys and I understand the importance of it. I remember Big Ron telling me when he went to watch Laurie playing for England, and he said, Laurie, you don't play like that for me. Why'd you play like that for England? He says, Gaffer, that's what I was told to play like.
And again, if you don't play that, if they
you don't get picked
toward us,
yeah, you don't get picked.
You're not in team.
No, absolutely. And this is the thing. So what I've learned, how I've been educated by you guys, former pros that know what they're talking about, is that, you know, if you want a decent team that plays football on the front foot, then you need a manager or a coach that's going to play that way. And if you have certain managers, you know that ain't going to work at certain football clubs, and it keeps repeating that same old cycle, and it is quite incredible. But a player that I liked, and I've liked for some time, first saw him play for Wolves, and I thought, geez, you look a player. Then Wolves got rid of him, sold him to Forest, and I thought, well, you've got a diamond there. I would have him in my England squad. And my magic moment this week is the performance of Morgan Gibbs-White for Nottingham Forest when they absolutely destroyed Fulham in the first half.
Who was the manager? What was trying to get rid of him?
Don't know.
I wouldn't pick him. He went to Sheffield United on loan, didn't he?
He was saying that Nuno was the manager at the time when he was at Wolves. So whether, whether things happen at football clubs and we're not privy to it, and he had to sell him. I don't know. I don't know why Morgan Gibbs-White.
Whoever he was hard to pick him.
But again, I think that he was listening to what Morgan was saying. He was he was a lot younger in them days. So, maybe the manager was not picking him to do him a favour, to kick him up the arse kind of thing. And it didn't quite work there at Wolves. But it really is working at Nottingham Forest. I thought that first half performance in particular of Gibbs-White, I tell you how high I put that performance. I remember watching Paul Gascoigne for England against Czechoslovakia in April 1990, and that was the game that cemented Gaza in that squad to go to Italy in 1990 for the World Cup. I remember watching Gaza that night and thinking absolutely fantastic. I remember going to work as a black cab driver the day after, and all I was thinking all day was about Gaza and how we played that night before. And I was similar with Morgan Gibbs-White. I thought he was fabulous. Some of the passes, some of his turns, and I mean his goal that he scored. I just thought, if you want to show a kid how to play, just go and show him the first half of Morgan Gibbs-White and how he and Forest destroyed Fulham. And after 33 minutes, they made 3 substitutions. I've never seen that before.
Well, the thing about all that, once the manager gives the player the confidence to go and play,
absolutely,
it fetches the best out of him.
Yep, absolutely.
And you're right. I mean, the other night against Forest beat Fulham. He absolutely destroyed them.
He was
You
fantastic.
could turn around and say, well, Fulham didn't play well. Well, they didn't play well because Forest made them look a poor team.
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, the passing, the movement, and in particular, Gibbs White, I just give him the ball, and that's what they did. And he wanted the ball, he was coming short for the ball, he was playing the ball. And that goal that Hudson-Odoi scored, I'm thinking, please score that goal, because then we'll show the half turn of Gibbs White and the pass. And then I thought he took it on a little bit too much, and I thought his chance had gone, and then he just stuck it in the onion bag. And I was absolutely delighted because, again, you'll see more of the build-up play. And I just thought it was phenomenal. And he would be on my plane going to the Euros. And people say, well, who are you leaving out? Well, I don't give a shit who I'm leaving out, but he's going. I ain't worked that out. I ain't worked out who I'm leaving out. I've worked out who I'm taking. But he's definitely one of them. I also want to give a shout out to Jimmy Dunn's goal for Queen's Park Rangers against us.
Goal.
I mean, it was a fabulous goal. I did hear on local radio they were a bit critical of Birmingham's defending, but I just thought that he dropped to him, he chested it, and he smashed it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Don't turn around and say what a great goal.
No, because
Birmingham were post or bad defence. It does you that in Gabby.
Exactly, because I just looked at that and I thought, go on, son, smash it. Control on the chest, and he just smashed it. And if you want to win a game of football, what a way to win a game of football. I know it was against my team, but I just look at football in a really impartial way, and, I can see the beauty of that goal. And I did pick out Phil Foden as well for his magnificent performance and hat-trick. When you score a goal, I was just talking to Curran about this. I mean, I think it was the hat-trick goal, wasn't it, when he fell over? Do you feel a little bit kind of when you fall over and you score, as much as if you stand on your feet and you score?
Yeah.
Do you feel a little bit kind of, I fell over, it's not as good a goal as if I'd have kept my feet? And what I said to Curran, if you look at Diego Maradona, every time he scored a goal, and I remember him scoring that goal against Belgium in the '86 World Cup final, and he almost fell over, but he just wheeled away because he got superb balance. Exactly, yeah. And I know Phil has as well, but like when I just see a player fall over after the shot, I just don't see it as good as a goal as if he'd actually kept his balance and stayed on his feet. Is that me just being too critical?
Hello?
Yeah, I've just lost you for a moment there. Is that me being too critical, or is you as a player? I mean, a goal's a goal. It don't matter whether you tap it in from, a metre or you smash it in from 30.
Well, the thing is, Gabby, whoever scores a goal, whether it's a full-back or a striker, I mean, the striker, it doesn't make any difference to them because that's the talent, what adds up at the end of the season or end of the playing career. But as a player, the amount of times that people have got themselves off balance and scored, it's still a goal.
Yeah, of course it is.
And sometimes it deceives the opposition because you've half fallen, you know what I
mean? Yeah.
So it doesn't make any difference. It's a goal. Yeah. That's how you look at it.
Yeah. And also as well, a special mention to Ipswich. I mean, I did watch that game. What was it? You lose track of days, don't you, with Easter?
Saturday night. Monday night.
It was Monday, wasn't it? And then Leeds United followed them. But to come back, and I thought Southampton played tremendous. Again, particularly in the first half. And for the first 60 minutes, I thought Southampton were bossing the game. Then all of a sudden, Ipswich scored a goal and then scored that winning goal in the dying seconds. And, you look at Ipswich Town, and let's just go briefly into our first topic of the week. Who's going up as champions and second, and then who's going to be in the playoffs in the championship? Because I thought Ipswich...
What about the Premier League? Oh,
well, we will talk about the Premier League as well.
It's unbelievable because, well, it's any one of the three.
Yeah,
Leeds, Leicester and Ipswich.
Do you think
And same
Ipswich?
with the Premier League.
Yeah.
You can't discount any one of the three teams, can you?
No, you can't. But do you think Ipswich, or did you think Ipswich would go this far with still being in that top three?
What I thought was Leicester were well and truly home and dry.
Yeah, I know.
Now you look at it, you think, how's that happened?
I know. I thought Ipswich, I've watched them a few times and I thought, I ain't convinced. And then they just score a goal out of nothing and come from behind and win a game. And you just think, this is a team that just does not know when they're beaten. And I think that's a great trait in a football club. And to think that he's taken them from, League One. And I think Plymouth won it, didn't they, last season? And then they come second, and then you come up through the playoffs. So to come up from League One and almost now are within, touching distance of the Premier League, what a job Kieran McKenna's done.
He's done a terrific job. And like you say, they play some really good football. Yeah, they get knocked out of the FA Cup by Maidstone. Right?
Made too many changes that day.
Yeah, well, exactly. Why would they do that?
I don't know.
I mean, they're all doing it.
Coventry didn't, and they're in the semi-final.
Guardiola does it because he's got 35 top quality players.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Kieran McKenna knows that if he does go up, he needs to spend a lot of money. Although with this, profit and sustainability, I don't know what's going on with that. You can only afford to spend a certain amount of money. And Leicester look as though they've fallen foul of that and got to sell a couple of players. I mean, the game has just gone absolutely bonkers. It's more what goes on the balance sheet than what goes on the grass these days. But what I see going on the grass with Ipswich, I think is quite phenomenal. And I just wouldn't back against Leeds United winning the championship. And I think that the manager's got good form. I think he's won that league twice, hasn't he, with Norwich City?
With Norwich, yeah.
So Leeds would be, for me, champions. And I just can't split Leicester and Ipswich. And I just think, at the moment, Ipswich just seem to have more character about them than Leicester. Is that fair? TC?
Yeah.
Yep, you still Leicester seem to have more Ipswich seem to have more character than Leicester. I mean, is that fair? Is that?
I won't go as far as that because Leicester plays some really good football. I mean, that was great character on Saturday. Was it Saturday when they played?
Yeah,
Monday. On Monday. I mean, the great corner Norwich had used to score the goal. Did you see the first goal Norwich got?
We're on about Norwich now?
Yeah.
I was on about Ipswich.
I know, but what I was on about, Ipswich went to the top of the league.
Yeah.
Right? Leicester's been clear all for a long period of time.
Yeah. I didn't see the Leicester game, I have to say. I was working.
What I'm coming to, and I'll go back to Ipswich. Ipswich have done terrific. And they looked as though they were going to be out of it. Not out of it. They're finishing top 2, top 3, and maybe go in the playoffs.
Yep.
Right? But not Leicester finished up on Saturday. They're 1-0 down. They've had a really bad run when you look at it, what's happened to them.
They have, yeah.
Because it looked almond dry for them, didn't it?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Norwich scored a great goal from a corner, played it into near post, driven in, and they scored a great goal. But they showed a great character, Leicester, to come back, to put them really back in there. Now, going back to Ipswich, they're winning 1-0, 2-1 down.
Yep.
And then they come back to win 3-2. I mean, I didn't see the game, but everybody what saw it was saying to me, did you see the game? It was a terrific game to watch.
Yeah, it was.
But it's going to be a tight finish.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to be a tight finish between Leicester, Ipswich and Leeds.
Yeah. I think it's a very, very close one to call. While we're talking about corners, why don't teams put players on the post these days?
You tell me.
I don't know. It baffles me. I mean,
they keep telling me this has improved, that's improved. There's as many bad goals today as what they were when I were playing.
100%. You know, I know sometimes they put one on the near post, but they never put. I never see a team, or rarely see a team put a player on both
Very
posts.
rare you saw a goal scored in my day and before my day on the near post from corners and free kicks. You see it a lot now, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I mean, talking about
but nobody puts them on. No? I don't know why they don't put them on.
I mean, talking about free kicks too. I mean, if Adrian would have built a wall like Villa did last night, you'd never kept the bastards out, would you? And did the same person that built Villa's wall draw them lines on the Crystal Palace game?
Building that wall, they still would have stopped the goal.
No, but what I'm saying is, Zaniolo, I mean, he ain't going to get awarded for bravery, is he? I mean, you look at that. All your job is in a war is to stand there and let the ball hit you because you're a wall.
You know what cost them the game? It's like Arsenal the other week or the other day playing Manchester City.
Yeah.
Did you think Arsenal are a good attacking footballing team? Did you
think
they
Arsenal
are. Come to beat? No.
No, I thought Arsenal showed. Yeah, I thought they.
Now, when you get Arsenal, who can keep the ball as good as anybody.
Yeah, I thought they were pathetic, to be fair.
Right. Just sat back.
Yeah.
And kept the ball. And everybody wants to knock Manchester City, but whoever they play, all them teams just play defensive football.
But again, with the Villa last night, in the first half in particular, I thought Villa played some really good football, and I thought it was a decent game. And then when Foden scored that first goal from the free kick that literally went straight through that wall because Zaniolo and Konza both moved and turned their back on the ball, it went through that hole. You're thinking, oh my God. And then second half, City really did turn up the gas and smashed them. But Villa were really in that game for large parts of it.
If the manager would have given them a belief, you see, what you've got to believe in is this. When you haven't got the ball, don't give City it back.
Absolutely.
When you haven't got the ball, make it difficult.
Yeah.
And don't give them spaces to play the ball into or to run into.
And they were doing that well in the first half.
When you do what City do, I mean, when you looked at City last night, right, De Bruyne on the bench, Ireland on the bench, they must have had 5 first team Stones on the bench.
Yeah,
they must have had 5 first teamers on that bench last night.
Yeah, as did Villa as well.
When he fetched somebody on, he fetched kids on, really, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, both teams were light. I mean, McGinn was missing, Martinez was missing, Ollie Watkins was missing, Tielemans was on the bench.
Are they injured?
You know, Kamara. Yeah, they've got 1 or 2. I think
they were. De Bruyne and them were on the bench. So
absolutely. Yeah. Villa.
So you've got an excuse for Villa.
Yeah, Villa. They've got a number of injury suspensions, and players that Martinez just. I think he got a sickness bug. 24-hour bug just before the game, and he couldn't play. So Alston had to play in goal for him.
I think that the manager's done really well for Villa.
Yeah, I do. I mean,
but I'd still hate to see. You pay to go to the theatre.
Yeah.
See a performance, and it's no different to football.
Absolutely.
But all we want to do is criticise the team. What wants to go and attack?
No, you'll never get me criticising a team.
No, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I just think my attitude, and I've said many times on the podcast, if you make no attempt to try and score a goal, I dock your points. I don't. I think that if you're training all week and you've been playing football probably since the age of 6, if that's the best that you can do, go and find another sport, because it's not for me. Male aggression, TC. I mean, come on, do me a favour.
I know where you're going.
That what's his name? Is it Rabiales, the Spanish fella, the former president of Spanish football, when he kissed that bird when they won the World Cup? Apparently now that's going to trial. Yet and I'll be honest with you,
she never complained about it until somebody forced her to complain about it.
Well, no, absolutely, with the kiss.
What about the Chelsea? The Chelsea manager? The women's team manager.
This is what I'm going on to. Emma Hayes. She physically
Why is somebody taking her to court?
Exactly. Well, again, this is the thing. I mean, when she talks about male aggression, what's male aggression, Bab? You know, can we talk about you
she
being...
put her hands up.
Yeah.
She pushed him.
Yeah. So you are a hormonal woman. So
listen,
but you
she's
can't...
she's more than a normal woman.
I can't stand her.
They want all the praise, what goes with it. But
Absolutely.
when they do something wrong.
And to listen to the rest of this podcast, head on over to www.patreon.com/SRBmedia. Thank you.